Good afternoon, Colin.
Hi Emily, and welcome to the Colin Cowie event studio.
Yeah, thank you for having me to your new studio. It's gorgeous. I'm curious what inspired you guys to put this together and what led to the collaboration.
Well, about 18 months ago I was promoting one of my books here, and Shannon threw this fabulous lunch for me, and we spoke about let's do something together. So it's been a long engagement, and we're finally here. But the genesis of this was an idea so I could bring my creative services and skill set to the hotel, so we could really create beautiful events and wonderful spaces. And every time somebody comes here, whether it's a wedding or a couple or a celebration or maybe a new product, a new piece of software, they bring their unique DNA. The idea behind the studio is to play to the senses and bring those senses alive, or to smell, touch, taste, see and hear. So I assembled and handpicked some of the best creative partners within the Bay Area, some of my favorites from Los Angeles. So you name the fabric or the dish or the china pattern, we have it here. So we get to build fabulous from absolutely scratch.
Yeah, it smells incredible. What are we smelling?
That is a signature Colin Cowie fragrance called Asian Prince.
Oh,
Which
I guess I have to
worked
get that.
with Set of France.
Okay, great. So I've been reading a lot about your event planning experience, your book writing, your branding, your relationship with celebrities. It's sort of hard to figure out where to start. I know you came from South Africa. So what sort of led from your life in South Africa to your role in the United States?
Oh, it's a great question. So, in South Africa, I came from a small town in Zambia, actually not South Africa, in Central Africa, where there was one country club that we belonged to, 2 hotels and 2 restaurants that you would never dare go to. So I cannot remember a time when my parents didn't have guests for dinner or for cocktails, and we entertained all the time. When I came to live in Los Angeles, I was so disappointed. I found all these people had magnificent homes with walk-in refrigerators, and they were eating in restaurants 5 nights a week. Now I'd sit and watch the kids eating pizza or paper plates, and there were like 300 sets of china in the closet. So my whole idea then was to demystify the idea of entertaining and to live well. So I've spent the last 30 years doing exactly that, is inspiring people to have a good time, to live life, and to celebrate life to the fullest.
Okay. And I also read, because one of my questions is going to be, how did you start out? And I know you started out as a one-man show.
I started as a one-man show, chopping, slicing, dicing, peeling, cleaning, flowers, serving, the full 9 yards.
Yes.
And went on to create events where I had 2,500 staff working for me. So started off humbly and wonderfully, and have enjoyed the journey.
Yeah. So it's hard to identify this because I'm an entrepreneur. I have my own events business. So you're also a bit of a mentor to be able to talk.
Surprised we both have this much hair. Right? It is the most stressful business in the whole world.
I haven't been doing it as long as you, so we should talk in a few years. But I also have a blog, so I write for myself and get to interview incredible people like you.
Thank you.
And do you remember the tipping point where you sort of went, where you knew you felt like you made it and you had...
Do you know, I never did. There was one moment, I do remember one day, I was commissioned by Hugh Hefner to do his wedding. It was like the big wedding at the Playboy Mansion. And I remember running down, there were no cell phones in those days, and using a payphone on the corner of Beverly and Sunset Boulevard, right next to the Beverly Hills Hotel, to call my mother and say, I think I just made it.
Okay.
But other than that, I've been so busy going from one project to the next project, and I've done a variety of amazing things, from parties, designing products, writing books. I'm working on my 11th book right now, which is part autobiography called Colin Cowie Standard Operating Procedures. And in doing that, designing product and traveling around the world with parties and events, I've always just gone from one deadline to the next deadline. I've never had time to really sit back and think, oh my God, did we really just do that?
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. So one of my next questions is going to be, where do you see yourself in 5 years and 10 years?
Well, it's so funny because I've been doing this for a long time, and I'm so excited by what I do that I feel like I'm still just getting started. And I've had some very, very interesting projects and commissions along the way. I worked as a creative director in many different instances, hotels, restaurants, all around the world. I was the creative director of NetJet, a private jet company, which was a great experience. So what I'm doing now is taking all of my skill set under one umbrella and working with real estate developers to help them sell aspirational lifestyles versus selling cost per square foot. So using my tried and trusted formula, I think everything starts with the DNA. It doesn't matter if it's a bride, a product, a piece of software, or a hotel, it's a unique DNA. Then I add to that what you smell, touch, taste, see, and hear. You know, depending is it morning, noon, or night, spring, summer, winter, fall, I get to tell you a story. So a big focus moving forward is working on hospitality concept with real estate developers. So instead of, it takes so much time, you can spend 9 months building a party, and in 7 hours the tent comes down and it's sad to see it will come over. For me, it's about creating projects that are going to have longevity and will be sustainable and ongoing.
So I could possibly buy a brand new house that a developer designed and you might have decorated for me?
Absolutely. Decorated, design the bathrooms, the kitchens, or move into a building where we created the fragrances that you smell, spring, summer, winter, fall, different fragrances in the spa, the music, the lighting, the sound, the uniforms, how the staff have been trained and educated to speak to the vernacular that they use. So it's really about taking a general life and making it aspirational.
Yeah, it's funny because there are certain hotels that, one particular hotel in Chicago that I've been there a few times, and the smell, it's incredible. And I've asked them if I could buy the smell, and they said, I'm sorry, it's just for our hotel, because I literally want to take it home and smell like that. But I didn't realize they hire people like you to do that.
No, because I think it's a skill set, and it's, in my business, it's all about experience. And I've been selling and creating unique experiences for 30 years. All of a sudden, the big buzzword in business today is experience. And fragrance is a big part of it. And Maya Angelou said it best: people forget what you say, people forget what you do, but people will never forget how you make them feel. And that's important. And I think that's why we create these unique experiences. And having done this for such a long time, every time I work, I found a way to do it better.
Yeah.
You're constantly sharpening the pencil, you're constantly raising the bar, you're in a constant state of reinvention. I've clocked 13 million miles traveling around the world looking for the best, looking for the finest. So, I have this strange analogy I always said. When I was in my 20s, I had the world's best hardware and I had no software. At 50 something now, 54, I've got the best software program and the hardware is hanging up.